Here we have an RCA XL 100 model ES 396W. I got it hooked up to my generator. I got it hooked up to the generator here to test to see if it can pick up video, because when I hook it up to my broadcaster, literally no video comes through. Well, video comes through it. It's just all jumbled up and awful looking. So I got it hooked up to my generator, and I'm going to the dots and test bars, and it's not seeing it. But when I go to the Keller test, I get Keller. Very fine Keller, actually. I mean, this thing, it's got Keller. Let me tell you. So there's our red, blue, and green. Red, blue, and green. We got perfect Keller. I have it all dialed in. Then I can go to our Keller bars. Twinko incorporate that. And then, yeah, we got Keller in this thing, but the test dots and shit don't work. I don't get it. When I go to this, we get it. This, we're getting Keller. Try and dial it in. This tuner is very weird how it's working now. When I mess with this is the brightness control. It literally does nothing. So I think we have a problem with our brightness circuit, because it don't work. I've twiddled with all this, how when I first got this thing it didn't even have a picture. I had to turn up the screen, and luckily it's actually showing something. So our brightness control's either dead or broke, which means I have to open up this, and I'm not sure if I really want to. But yeah, we literally have no other test. I'll just go through the... Nope, nothing. Only Keller it'll do it. I don't get it. It's weird. What is this? Minimum chroma level. It's all there. But yeah. This is the TV, by the way. It's an automatic Keller Keller. It features AMC, which does still work. VHF, UHF. It's an S. It's also, I think this. I don't know what that is. I think it's a C9, but it's made by RCA. But the TV is not displaying proper video. Oh, allow me to demonstrate that. So, let me take out that. Okay. We have it tuned in. This is what the picture looks like.
Use all closed cabinets. Just plan the storage you actually need, where you need it. On the do side, use a double sink if necessary, separate sinks if possible, and plan a sit-down workspace
I push in
the sink.
the fine-tuning,
and do
it goes
use
dimmer.
an automatic dishwasher, preferably
But this
built
is the
in.
picture.
Your husband will probably appreciate it almost
I
as
don't
much
get
as
why
you.
it's doing this.
Finally,
I have a
provide as
feeling
much
someone's
well-lighted,
tinkered with
continuous
this
counter space
thing
as
and
possible.
screwed
Also,
with
make sure
it,
your
or it's
refrigerator door
just
opens
the
away from any
capacitors
adjacent
are
counters.
shot.
There's more to planning, of course, but that's
I
the
mean,
general idea.
it shows a picture.
Right? You, your family, your kitchen. Half the battle is... Why, Edie, what's the matter?
It's just impossible, that's all.
What is?
For me to have a I have the kind of kitchen I want.
Half the battle is simply manufactured in RCA Victor's own Cambridge, Ohio factory. In the past, stereophonic tapes like this one gave about 36 minutes of music.
I'm going to pull the
and
back
cost
on
about
this.
as much as 3 LP records. But with the new
I mean, it's legible. It's
with
just
easy
something
magazine
weird is
loading,
going on with this
living
picture.
stereo will be
But
available at a
let me
cost
open
of
up
a
the
little
back.
more
I got to do
than
that. Well, the TV has these modules in it, and some of them actually do have dry solder joints. There are a few dry solder joints on here, and I guess while I'm resoldering solder joints, I might as well replace these 3 capacitors on this board. And actually, I might as well just replace all these capacitors because this TV, I might as well. I was gonna do a special video on it, but honestly, I might as well replace these capacitors while I have the damn modules out. I don't know what this module does. All I know is it does connect to the tuner, so this module could be at fault with a little bit of these dry solder joints. It also has a really old chip in it, an old IC. It's got only like 3 caps in it, which are, I don't know, what's this one? It's an Chicon. One UF at 50 volts. I don't even know if I have that. Well, let's see if I can work my magic on this. I think I found our problem capacitor. If you look closely, that thing's bulging out. The rubber part, it's bulged out. So, let's get this one out. I have a feeling this one's the problem, and I'm actually going to test this one for shorts, because I'm betting it's shorted or open. Well, let's put our probes on and see if it's shorted at all. It's not saying it's shorted. Well, let's desolder and look at what we got here. Oh, we're in for a treat. Ooh. Yeah. That's bad. Yep. I have a feeling this is our problem child. Let's see. 15 UF at 35 volt. I could find something to work with that. Wow. Yeah, it corroded and then blew up. So, I'm willing to bet that this is the problem of why our TV's going funky. Oh, what the fuck happened there? Well, I hope this ain't bad. If this is bad, that's never gonna work again. And we'll find out. Because it looks a little bit like it's melted. Yeah, that no doubt is what's caused our TV's killer issues. Just look at that shit. I've never seen anything like this. Never have I ever seen anything like this. Just, wow. Like, that needs a picture in its own. Ow. Okay, let's see here. Alright, so when I'm done recapping something, I like to check to see if the diodes are shorted, because these diodes here, they can tend to short, and that could have been what killed this 15 UF capacitor. I don't have a 15 UF, I put a 22 in there. It's as low as a value I can get to. So it should be okay with it. So first I'm going to test these diodes, and I'm going to test this capacitor to see if it's any good. Let's test this diode. So you see the black band here on this diode? That black band denotes negative, which I believe is the cathode. I believe it's a cathode. I can't remember. Okay, so that side shows that it's got continuity. Now, if I switch the leads, I should not get no continuity. Okay, good. This diode is good, not shorted. Okay. Let's test this diode. Negative, positive. Good. Let's switch it. Should not have anything. Okay, good. Now this diode connects to this capacitor, so if this capacitor got shorted, this diode would have caused it if it's bad. Okay, good. Should not have anything. And we don't, so that diode's good. Now let's test this other diode right here. Okay, that's good. Switch it. Good. So these diodes are good on this board. Let me test this capacitor. It's a 2 UF. So let's test it, make sure it's any good, because if it's good, I'm just going to leave it. Oh, 2.9 UF. That is perfect. Okay, so this board's ready, and you know what? I'm just going to power up the TV and see if this capacitor was all the problem. I bet it is. But I'm going to quickly look into the TV and see if I can find any more blown-looking capacitors. First thing I notice when I plug in the TV, I don't hear the high voltage immediately running. Huh. Let's see here.
Its production required the varied skills and talents of some 375 people and some 3,000 man-hours of work. City Hall, Boston, Massachusetts.
I can adjust the brightness a little bit though. But barely.
To begin with, but again, it wouldn't be natural or faithful.
Some of the colors do look correct.
Today, the engineers record the
Before it was
orchestra
just
as a complete unit.
red, green, and blue, but now we're actually getting mixed colors. This thing cannot do this.
third important requirement in a high-fidelity recording is frequency range.
I mean,
Capturing high notes.
this is starting to do something.
This is actually a
See, when I turn it, this detail comes in, but when I turn it, you don't see that detail. Detail, no detail. Detail, no detail. It's interesting. So it's kind of coming back to life.
Frequency spectrum from 20 to 20,000 cycles per second. And with less than 0.2% of 1% distortion, it transfers to a swiftly spinning magnetic tape.
It's getting better though. I have a feeling I know what the problem is. Our green module probably has a bad cap on it. Because all I see is green.
Records to come later.
Look at that.
Let's look at the steps in the cutting of our...
We're actually getting some detail in this.
Most of the sound factors are already
See,
known.
look at that.
Speed of the tape in recording.
We're getting detail. And we are kind of getting some snow.
These factors must be...
We weren't getting snow before. Just basic shit. I have a this fine tuning could be broken too.
For the 12-inch long play record, the master is 16 inches in diameter.
Look at that.
For 45
It kind of comes in when I turn this. When I turn this knob, look at it.
The extra width
You can see the colors come in and then fade out.
Besides a spindle for
I
centering,
can see it.
the turntable has a number of holes. Through these holes,
You can kind of see it.
holds the lacquer disc tightly, so
See?
it's perfectly flat on the turntable.
The colors go perfect.
The
and then it
playing
fades
time of
out.
music
See?
determines the number of grooves per inch that
That's
will
how
be
it's
cut into the record.
supposed to be.
The sound dynamics of the music determine how far apart the grooves must be. Loud passages.
Hey, this is looking good though. It's
Soft passages
oh,
need
3
rest.
is bad.
And the lacquer
Look at
master
that,
comes
though.
out with a new face. Now,
Oh, look at that. We actually got snow.
one behind
It's
the
only
other.
when the color. I don't know. It says it. I think the capacitors are performing.
Makes smooth-walled grooves and a quieter
But
surface.
as you can see, with the
A thin deposit of copper over the
color all the way off,
A nice,
we have a
smooth
good
salmon
detailed picture, just green as fuck.
paint. Now, a whirling bath in another
So
tank.
I need to recap those red, green, and blue modules. I think those are the problem. Oh, here we go. Off with recapping our color board here. Oh, it does have that fucking no, it doesn't. Oh, it does have that damn clip. Oh. Well, here's our green circuit. Not much to it, just one little capacitor, which don't look too good. And a transistor, made by RCA. I mean, I can see the color issues only being from these, unless the tuner has some capacitors in it, which could be. There could be capacitors, or the tuner's bad. What's that do actually? I don't know what that does. I mean, our brightness is working, so we're getting somewhere. Our screen could be too high as well. Probably should. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna make it where that goes up there. Okay. Well, let's recap this red circuit board. You can tell it's a very old circuit. Don't even have green on it. Okay, I'm gonna recap this the red color circuit board. Should probably test to see if it's shorted first. It sure did. See if it will test. Oh, that's .0. I'm gonna replace it anyway. It needs to go. Bye bye. Barely any room to do this. Hey, that looks just fine. It is leaking a little bit, so I'm gonna replace it. So I'm gonna replace it with, really enough, it wants a 1.5 UF at 50 volt. I'm just gonna put a 1 UF in it. Shouldn't harm the value or be too high. There's one. Okay. Ah, shit. It doesn't even label it. Damn it, it doesn't label negative and positive. Oh, I sure hope I have that one. Okay, now I can solder this in. One, two. And that's perfectly in. Well, there's one board recap. Time to put it back in. Here we go. Back in. Plug our thing in. Now let's do. Would you look at that? There's two of them. Could this have been possibly switched? Why the hell is there a rubber band on there? This one could have been switched. The more I see this, the more I don't think this is where it goes. Because I feel like it goes right here. And this is just some test point maybe, because it aligns perfectly with the rest of them. So I have a feeling the green don't go here, it goes here. So I'm just going to button it up and see if that fixes it, because if that isn't correcting with the right circuitry, then somebody must have took this thing apart and didn't put this back right, if this thing had a service back then. Which I think it did, because that blue capacitor I don't think is original. See how the other cans are silver and that one's blue? I don't think that's original. So, just going to put the green back there and see if that does anything. It probably won't. But you never know. You never know at all, actually. Well, I'm going to see if that does anything. Alright, let's see. Well, here's the board. Well, let's service it. Well, I'm pulling off these modules, and I may have found a problem. Look at this. We have what looks to be, yep, it's leaked and it's bulged out. Yep, that capacitor don't look good. Let me get that out. Alright.
You're darn right. You take this washer here. I do. I mean the way it's designed so a child can run it. Speaking as an engineer. Well, what I mean is, you take the basic design. All you do is work out a system of pumps, and then you hook in some different valves, and then...
Well, that's not precisely what Tom Mulligan told me. George, look.
Well, of course, there's a lot Mr. Warren couldn't be expected to know. But to an established company in the home laundry business, how it's made is a point of engineering concern that goes back a long way. Some 53 years, in fact.
Well,
Perhaps inelegant now, these washers met the need in their day. And they set a course of valuable engineering experience. A course leading inevitably.
here we go. Holy shit. Yep, that was the issue. That damn board wasn't properly seated. Look at that picture. Just tune it in. Look at that. Plenty of brightness. Color. There's still noise though in the picture. Hey, look at that. Our TV is serviced. Plenty of good brightness.
Say, Charlie, I suppose Emmy, yes, George, just like Clara, week after week. Why?
Why not?
Beautiful.
Guys deserve it. So let's really surprise them both.
Just so that one capacitor was the issue. I just didn't seat the board correctly. Now we got a good picture. For the most part. I do need to actually clean this up a little bit.
To deliver 2 complete laundries at this short notice. Well, why don't I call him? If he's still there, I'll explain the situation. Hi.
Those look quite good.
Please, Mr. Walligan, just a few minutes. Please.
Well, Miss Manning, I gotta close up now.
I know you want to leave and everything, but...
Yeah, well, with my wife, I gotta have good reasons for missing dinner.
But I'm sure she will understand.
Line's busy. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah.
Yeah? Well... Hey, that means he's still there. Come on, Charlie. Keep calling Jim and tell him we're on the way.
Okay, fellas.
So you can see how important it is to us, Mr. Walligan.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you girls had a very good idea there, but...
Remember the suffering Jets, Mr. Walligan? They never gave up till they won the women's vote. No sirree. Talk. I don't know what to say. Say anything.
Well, our brightness control is doing something now.
The bougainvillea are too. My mother has a new trellis in our house. And Paul Revere riding all night up and down the countryside, shouting to the people, the British are coming, the British are coming, and...
Sorry, B, the British are coming. Okay, kids, you win.
And none of us had the faintest idea. Clara and Emmy are simply delirious. Just imagine George and Charlie taking the notion just like that. Well, what is the matter?
Oh, I was checking my theme at breakfast.
Oh, yes. Seems...
Beautiful.
Goodness, Marilyn. You must have put a
Try
lot of
level
effort
in
into
that. That picture is really good.
Mother, you'll just never know.
Beautiful. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh. That's weird.
About fabrics, folks like you, and that engrossed young couple over there. There was a time not too long ago when if something like this happened, well, how would you feel? Indignant? Sick all over? After all, a ruined suit or a cleaning and pressing job is expensive. Times have changed. Annoyed? Certainly. But only the mild annoyance that comes from knowing it'll take less than an hour to wash and dry them before putting them right back on. Just think. Less than an hour. That's a miracle. A miracle that could only happen in the wonderful world of wash and wear.
Beautiful. Ah. It needs more green. Green levels now.
Yes, something besides the time has changed. Something quite important. That's the real story. One that begins over here. In the bottom of the laundry basket of the average home of the average family. For about 6,000 years now, give or take a couple, we've faced the problem of covering our bodies with clothing.
I did lower my
First,
red.
the fig leaves.
Ah, yeah.
Since then, we've relied pretty much on 4 sturdy natural fibers. Animal
Absolutely
and
gorgeous
vegetable. Like, for
television.
instance, wool, silk, cotton,
Beautiful. Give it some
and linen.
red. Oh.
Yes? Since the
This
Stone Age, man has spent a lot of time seeking better materials for his clothes. Plus, a good deal more towards finding easier and different, always newer, always better ways to get his clothing clean. Right up to today's automatics.
Beautiful.
But we all know that the fabrics we use always be cleaned by washing. Wool, for example. Raw, processed wool, just sheared. Wool's always been and is a leading warmth fiber, for outerwear especially. Has excellent wrinkle resistance, good draping qualities, is easily dyed, a lot of appeal. Yet no matter how we bettered our laundry methods through the years, this little woolly lamb just won't cotton to washing. True, some wool items can be hand washed, but even so...
Red. But the automatic color, that is working.
That lad's growing as fast as crabgrass, or that sweater shrank. We all know wool shrinks like no other natural fiber. So with wool clothing, it's either costly, time-consuming dry cleaning, or we clean and press it as best we can with spot remover and an iron.
I actually don't think I need that.
Used to be some guys even pressed their pants under the mattress.
A little bit of adjustment on our brightness.
The newspapers prevented the springs from leaving impressions. So while better washing methods solved some of our washing problems, we knew further progress might be found in something other than natural fibers for our clothes. Textile manufacturers, clothing makers, fabric designers all asked, what can we find that's an improvement over wool or blends with it? What looks, feels, drapes, fashions better than wool? And for that matter, cotton, linen, and silk. We Americans go for that kind of challenge. We said, find something with all the good things of natural fibers and none of the drawbacks. That's when the test tube boys knuckled down to work. So began years of research, of tireless work of many men, of spending, well, let's not get into how much money, to create the modern man-made fibers for fabrics that we enjoy today. Day and night, research chemists like this fellow pursued a dream of new, exciting, completely different synthetic fibers. It's quite a dream, quite a story. If I get a little too technical, will someone please ring a bell? You see, for the first time since creation, men were going back to the elements to create a molecule. So soon? I'll start over. Beginning with pure chemicals, scientists, researchers, chemists stole a leaf from the silkworm and literally spun new kinds of threads. Threads and fibers that had to measure up to all the desirable qualities of resilience, that is to hold or return to original shape, softness, lightweight, strength, durability, and resistance to weather. At first, slowly, then with a speed almost too swift to follow, the magic of modern chemistry rocketed us into a new world of modern fabrics. Continuous, exciting technological discoveries gave us such man-made
I'm
fibers
gonna
as
accept
rayon,
that. That's
acid,
beautiful.
and such synthetics as nylon,
I don't like what I touch.
acrylan, dacron, orlon, beryl, cresslan, dynel, zephyrum, and many others, including the new resin-treated cotton. Of all these, however, the big three soon proved to be nylon, dacron, and orlon. Why? Because they measured up to every expectation for their basic reason for being. Take that young fellow. Wears a suit of dacron. Washable, doesn't wrinkle easily, holds its shape better than wool. His girlfriend wears a sweater of orlon. Soft, with a luxurious feel, lightweight, yet warm and weather resistant. And Peeping Tom has a nylon jacket. Very light, yet it holds its shape because of its elasticity. Not only lightweight, but plenty tough. Oops, watch out, son. Yes, a fiber so strong that many a paratrooper, many an airman owes his life to a nylon parachute. Well, no one of these modern fibers meets all our clothing needs. But when we married them with the age-old natural fibers, we raised a brand new family of fabrics with greater strength, resilience, and new versatility. More important, these complementary blends meant that more and more clothing items could use new...
Through the years, RCA Victor has built a tradition of continually introducing new ideas and products to bring new thrills and pleasures to millions in home entertainment. In keeping with that tradition, RCA Victor now offers a completely new development for new listening enjoyment with tape. Watch this. How long do you think it takes the average person to take off one tape and thread in a new one? 2 2/5 seconds? 32 1/5? Or 1 minute and 10 seconds? Let's find out. Ready, set, go. 2 2/5 seconds exactly. How did she do it? Here's how. The new RCA Victor conceived, developed, and designed tape cartridge for easy magazine loading to make playing a tape
as simple as or even easier than playing a record. Simple, convenient, practical. The first truly sensible approach to tape. But that's only part of the story. The new cartridge cuts basic tape costs to 1/4 of what they used to be for the same playing time. And here's how. The old reel-type stereo tapes carried 2 soundtracks, one for each speaker system. The new cartridge tape carries not just 2, but 4 tracks. 2 in each direction for stereo, or 4 tracks for monaural, giving twice the playing time for the same length of tape. For monaural home recording, all 4 tracks can be used, giving 4 times the playing time, giving you more uninterrupted music than is possible from a full stack of 45 RPM records on an automatic phonograph. And there's even more. On the old type tape recorders, the slowest speed at which music could be satisfactorily recorded and played was 7 1/2 inches per second. But now, high-fidelity music at the new low speed of only 3 3/4 inches per second, made possible by the development of precision-controlled RCA Victor sound heads and precision-balanced motors, the product of 4 1/2 years of research, and to be manufactured in RCA Victor's own Cambridge, Ohio factory. In the past, stereophonic tapes like this one gave about 36 minutes of music and cost about as much as 3 LP records. But with the new
As recorded in new orthophonic high-fidelity sound by Charles Munch and the Boston Symphony Orchestra, Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet plays about 19 minutes. Its production required the varied skills and talents of some 375 people and some 3,000 man-hours of work. Let's see how some of those hours were spent to bring you the music you want when you want it. First stop, Symphony Hall, Boston, Massachusetts. A new orthophonic high-fidelity recording is not just the mechanical reproduction of a concert performance. It's the art of creating the effect of a concert performance. There are many stops and starts, many takes and retakes. That's because the end object is a planned illusion. The illusion, as you ultimately hear the music played back through your phonograph, that you have the best seat in the concert hall. How do they do it? Well, the recording music director or any one of the sound engineers could easily explain it all in 10 weeks. But let's just take a look at 3 of the fundamental requirements of high-fidelity recording. The first is full dynamic range. That's the spread between the softest and loudest passages in the music. In a concert performance, the range is as wide as the conductor. These meters on the recording console indicate the volume of sound coming from the orchestra onto the magnetic tape. In the old days, home phonographs could not reproduce either full loud passages or very soft passages. So they were literally kept off the record right here by sound monitoring.